What up, y'all? This is Dominic369 coming back at you for Occultism Unleashed. This is December 29th, 2021, and today Jupiter goes into Pisces. And Jupiter in Pisces, it gives off an energy that promotes selflessness and compassion for your fellow human being. It gives us a sense of helpfulness and understanding of the suffering of others. And it gives us that willingness that we need to extend our spirit to help other people, and help them get them back on our feet. Jupiter in Pisces, it also increases our desire to expand our knowledge of the spiritual realm. You're going to feel more drawn to, mysticism, occultism, spiritual activities, things that are not of this world necessarily. But the downside of this is you can get caught up and be gullible, especially when it comes to false spiritual teachings and a lot of the mumbo jumbo bullshit that people tend to get drawn into when they're pursuing spiritual growth. This also expands the desire to escape, and the desire to escape from your current reality may trigger your substance abuse issues and make you more inclined to abuse drugs and alcohol. What I really love about this Jupiter going into Pisces, because Pisces rules music and film. It rules music and film. So I can assure you there are going to be some great breakthroughs when it comes to the music industry and the type of movies that are being put out. Even if they're being put out independently, this spiritual movement with the music and the films, you are going to see it burst onto the scene, and you're going to see it have a profound impact on a lot of people. It's really going to change the game. I promise you that. Jupiter is about expansion and the growth, and the Pisces is about spirituality. But, the sign of Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and it rules music. It rules film, movies, entertainment, fantasy. And movies are a vehicle from which fantasy can become reality, where ideas and perceptions can be projected out onto the minds of the masses. More often than not, this has been used as a more controlling and manipulative mechanism against the population. But you're going to see some, refined uses of it, because not only is Jupiter in Pisces, there's going to be a nice, powerful sextile between Jupiter in Pisces and Uranus and Taurus, in the middle of February. This is really going to, boost up the creativity online, improve how technology is used to expand the spiritual growth of humanity. But it's also going to increase, some deceptive things. So you have to really be aware of what's going on and take responsibility for your spiritual growth and expansion while Jupiter is in Pisces, for you to get the best and the most out of this transit. Jupiter in Pisces, if it's in your first house, if you got Pisces rising, this is going to affect you personally. Your second house is going to expand on your values and, self-worth. Third house, siblings and communication. Your activity in the neighborhood with Jupiter and Pisces in your third house, you're going to see yourself more inclined to, be responsible for the growth in your community and productiveness and helping people out, rescuing, because Pisces is the sign of the martyr. And for you to be a martyr, you must have compassion. So, Jupiter in Pisces also expands the compassion. It's important that you take advantage of this energy, especially if it's going through your fourth house. It gives you the opportunity to Tap into spiritual traditions, your ancestral line. It makes it real easy for you to get into that right now. The 5th house, you teaching your kids about, compassion, humanity, spiritual growth, bring it into your short-term relationships, maybe even using divination before you pick a partner. Jupiter is going to bring a lot of expansion and growth. In the 6th house, Jupiter and Pisces might expand your health problems if you haven't been taking care of yourself. And Pisces rules the feet. But also, because Jupiter and Pisces is the expansion of music, this is a good time for you to take up listening to some binaural rhythms, solfeggio tones, meditation music, singing bowl chakras for healing, because Pisces rules the feet, but the feet rule the direction which you go in life, how you tread your life path. It's important that you place more value on the direction that you're going, and make sure you never wear other people's shoes. Now, the 7th house, it brings spirituality and growth into your relationship and business partnerships. It goes beyond what you can do for each other on a material level. The 8th house, it rules other people's money, and we love, being able to have good credit and things like that. So it's important as Jupiter travels through your 8th house to have faith in your ability to get credit, to get loans, to pay off your debts. And Jupiter in the 8th house, in the sign of Pisces, it's a good time to visualize any type of, surgeries that you're having, that they're going to come out perfect. Everything's going to be fine. Jupiter is the great, the beneficent. So wherever it's found that in your chart or travels through your chart, it brings benefits and joy and blessings. But it's important that you tap into your faith and your inner knowing. If your intuition is expanded and is telling you don't get the surgery, don't go get the surgery just because that's when the doctor has the opening. Listen to your intuition, because the 8th house is the house of mediumship. So Jupiter and Pisces traveling through your 8th house is going to increase your psychic abilities dramatically. You might start having dreams about dead people or ancestors you never met. And you might just be seeing them in your waking hours also. Jupiter is at home in the 9th house. In the 9th house, the 9th house is the house of higher education and foreign travel, but it's also the house of wish fulfillment. It's the house that comes before the 10th house. It's where you find where you wish to be in the world. And the 10th house is how you get there and what it takes to get there. So Jupiter traveling through your 9th house, it's important that you realize your faith and make it active, especially when planning and pursuing your goals, expanding your knowledge, getting information necessary to manifest your goals and desires. As it moves into the 10th house, look for good luck in your career, finding people who you work with or in the same lane of work as you to help you grow and expand your brand or career. Your 11th house is the house of socialization and the benefits that you get from your career. If you've been working hard and focused on your grind and Jupiter is going into your 11th house from your 10th, look for your payout. Look for your payout from putting in work. The 12th house, look for your spiritual senses to kick up, but also if you have substance abuse issues, you need to get that shit on out your system. Release that. Ask for Jupiter to help you break those habits that subconsciously hinder you in life. Jupiter is a planet of great power and expansion, but it doesn't mean that you won't expand your negative characteristics if you choose not to deal with your problems. So Jupiter in the 12th house, it brings that what's in the subconscious and those adverse habits to the surface so you can deal with them as Jupiter goes back into your first house and gives you the benefits of purging that unnecessary bullshit. Take time to find out where Jupiter is in your house. If you haven't bought the rulership book, it's on the spiritual resources page on my website. And if you want an in-depth reading about your own chart, book it on redclawconjure.com. Peace.